Long, long ago, in a part of the world very, very far from here, two men were partners in a shop that sold food to their community, a grocery. In many ways, the two men could not have been more different. One of the men was a miser, the other as generous as the day is long. When the miser waited on a customer and weighed their purchase, he would take their money and then, before wrapping the purchase, he would always remove a portion of it and put it back with the unsold food. The customers he serviced always got less than they paid for. The other man, the generous partner, complained to the miser about what he was doing. And to make up for it, the generous partner, when he waited on a customer and weighed their purchase, he would add a portion to that purchase. So the customers on whom he waited always got more than they paid for, and this good and generous man hoped that what he did would mean that on balance, their customers got what they paid for. The miser, however, fumed and fussed at the end of each day. "Why do you do that?" he said to his partner. "Why do you give them more than they bought?" "I do so," the generous partner replied, "because stealing is forbidden and you steal from them every day. I try to give them back enough to make up for what you have done, and I will continue to do this." "We can be partners no more," said the miser. "Let us go our separate ways." And so they did. They divided up their wealth, with the miser taking the shop and its inventory, and the generous man taking the money they had on hand. The miser continued to run the grocery in that community and continued to cheat his customers. The generous man did not want even to live in the same town with this stingy man who had once been his partner. So he took his money and bought some food for a journey and began walking. This was in the days before there were such things as cars and trains. The generous man walked and walked and walked and slept in fields overnight. One night, as he lay down to sleep, a small group of men gathered nearby. They could not see the generous man, and it was not his intention to eavesdrop on them, but they were so near he could not help but overhear what was said. The men who gathered were healers, the doctors of that day. One of them said, "You all know that in the nearby town the mayor's young daughter seems very ill. I have seen this affliction before, and I know how to cure it. It is a simple matter. All one must do is heat some oil from this plant," and he held up some leaves for them all to see. From where the generous man lay, he could also see the leaves. "Take the oil," the healer man said, "then rub it into the body and it will make the person well. It's a simple matter." "But," said the healer man, "I know that the mayor has a little money, not a lot, but a little. I will tell him tomorrow that I can heal his daughter, but he must give me all his money. I am sure that he will do this because he loves his daughter very much." "And," the healer man said, "we will meet back here tomorrow night and divide the money between us. Now be sure that none of you tells our secret." The meeting of the healers broke up and each one went their way. Once they were gone and the generous man knew that it was safe, he crept out from his place and gathered some of the leaves of the plant he had seen the healer man show to the others. He put them into the bag he had with him, went back to the place where he had been hidden, and went to sleep. The generous man awakened early the next morning and walked into the nearby town. There was great sadness there. You could see it on the face of every citizen. The generous man asked, "What's the matter?" He was told, "The mayor's daughter is very ill. We are sad because we fear she may die. She is only a young girl." "I believe that I can make her well," said the generous man. "Come with me," said the citizen to whom he was speaking. "I will take you to the mayor. We must hurry." When they arrived at the mayor's house, the citizen said, "This man can cure your daughter. Please, oh please," said the mayor, "do what you can." The generous man boiled the oil from the leaves he had brought with him, and then, when it had cooled so that it would not burn the girl, he gently rubbed it into her body. Within an hour, the girl had revived. Within 2 hours, it was as though the girl had never been ill. The mayor was overjoyed. He told the generous man that while he was not wealthy, he would gladly give him all the money he had for having healed his daughter. But the generous man knew from what he had heard the mayor was not a wealthy man, and so the generous man told him he had not cured his daughter because he expected money. It was because he had a heart to help people. "No," he said to the mayor, "my reward is seeing your daughter well again." Then he said to the mayor, "I would like to stay in your town if you would have me. I am a grocer and might open a shop here." "Wonderful," said the mayor. "We have no grocery in our town. Our people must walk 10 miles to the nearest. Please stay with us and open your shop." And that's just what the generous man did. He opened his shop and he sold his goods at a very fair price, never cheating any customer. All the people of the town became his friends, and they remembered always what the generous grocer had done for their mayor's daughter. They loved him for that. Back in the town where the generous man had once lived, his former partner, the miser, continued to cheat his customers as long as he lived and became a very, very, very wealthy man. At last he came to the end of his life, and the local priest conducted a service for him. But no one came. Only the priest was in attendance, for the only thing the old miser had ever possessed was his money. Now, in his new shop, in his new town, the generous man made all the money he needed and more, and for the many years he lived and worked there, the generous man always treated his customers fairly. When he died, and the priest in that town conducted his funeral, the little village church was full to overflowing, and the priest told the people what they already knew. While their generous grocer did have quite a lot of money, what made him happiest until the day he died was that he knew he had far more friends than money. Even if you and I were to have a great amount of money in our lifetime, might it still be said of us too that we had far more friends than money?